What's going on, LEGO Maniacs? It's Ty, the LEGO guy here, and welcome to another episode of Make It or Break It, a non-LEGO series. Today we're taking a look at a brand I've never ever gone over on this channel. I've never seen this product. It is the LOZ Mini building block brand, I guess. They make miniature bricks, which is interesting in comparison to LEGO. And it's the Ancient Street. It's rated 6 and up, that's set 1024, and it has 1,745 pieces, which is crazy for a box that's only this size. Now this set retails for about 35 Canadian or about 30 USD. It is from Australia, which is about 40 Australian dollars. What I love about this is it's done in the ancient Chinese setting, or it's somewhere in Asia, obviously. And they have some very interesting minifigures as well. Most importantly, we're gonna find out whether this brand makes it or breaks it. If the quality's good or if it's bad, we're gonna break it all down. But enough talk, let's get right into it. And we'll start us off by taking a little bit closer look at the box art. And I have to say the box feels pretty good. It has a very glossy type look to it as well. I'm not saying it's quite LEGO quality, but it's pretty close, I will say. And here's the back of it. Now there is 3 sets you can kind of combine and make this a big Ancient Street. This is just the one of them. And as you can see, it kind of breaks apart like a modular. The minifigures are quite interesting again, just because they have dual jointed, or whatever you want to call it, double jointed legs. So you can kind of bend them, which is interesting. But let's now open her up. To do that, it just has tape on the bottom right here. We'll just cut her open. And okay, they have another cardboard piece in here, not against that. Just to kind of keep it safe. Okay, this is what I mean, miniature LEGO pieces. So they're a bit smaller. In fact, just as reference, here's a LEGO piece. So I'd say they're about half the size, the pieces. Now, okay, this is not bad. The bags don't feel sticky or anything like that. I will let you guys, we'll experiment with that right now. Let's just dump her out like so. Now they do have stickers. And they have a manual here. That's the first thing we're gonna check out, see what this quality level is like. Okay, this is not quite LEGO quality. It opens up like one of the old school maps. You guys know what I'm talking about. It doesn't feel bad though, I will say that. It's just, I like it when it has the picture of the set at the front of the instruction manual. This does not have that. So let's just open up one of these bags just to kind of get the quality, the feel for this. Okay, the bags don't open too bad. Okay, these pieces, let's see how easy you can clip them together. It's miniature blocks, so this is tiny. Now these aren't numbered bags, so this is gonna kind of be a nightmare to build. They're a little stiff to put together, but if anything, it feels like probably Mega Constructs quality as far as how easy it is to snap the pieces together and to take them apart. Obviously, I'll let you guys know how it goes with the build at the, when we get through the build, and I can show you guys this all built up. But overall, I haven't seen too many warning signs. Just again, the instruction manual could be a little bit nicer, and the pieces, they're a little stiff, but they're not too bad. Nothing like Lepin or Bella. This is not a fake LEGO brand. They actually come up with their own designs, which is nice. Let's now build her up. And having completed the build, the first thing that we'll center in on is going to be some of the smaller builds. So you'll notice on the right, there's what's supposed to be a lion. This is kind of like the lion dance set that we got from LEGO, although this is a different build. This is not a copy, which is good. This is a sticker piece. Unfortunately, they do apply the sticker on 2 plates, which is kind of illegal, but that's what they did. And then we have the drummer, as you guys can see right here. Pretty interesting looking little builds. The drums are pretty simple, but giving you guys a little bit better view of the lion. First thing I wanted to, or another thing I wanted to mention, is the eyes are printed pieces, although you can see that the quality is just not quite at LEGO's standard. There's a line running through his pupil. Could be a bit better there. The mouth also opens, and this is supported by basically 2 minifigures. Pretty good looking little build. Let's now take a look at the meat of the set. And we'll give you a 360 view of this as well. So for those of you that are used to LEGO like myself, believe it or not, this looks much bigger than it is. This is about, or nearly a foot tall, or 1/4 of a meter in height, and it's probably about, I don't know, 4 inches in width, about 6 inches in length, which is about 12 by 18 centimeters roughly. So it is not a very big build, but the amount of detail put into this is crazy. Now bear in mind the pieces are definitely smaller than LEGO. I'd say they're about half the size. If this was a LEGO set, it'd be about double the size for sure. It's crazy that this is basically 1,600 pieces that make up the main build. And what we're gonna do now is break it down area by area. Before we do that, I wanna show this off. It kind of breaks apart like a modular. So that comes apart, and that comes apart quite easily. This did hold on to this, but the clutch power is quite good on this set, I will say. It's just sometimes it does not come apart correctly. LEGO even does that sometimes. But yeah, let's now take a look at the interior of this. Before we do that though, there is one other thing I wanted to mention. There was a missing piece. You'll notice there's these little Technic circular pieces. Well, it was missing one of them. So because of that, I couldn't put the Technic pin in this larger piece that would kind of hold this in. It does kind of partially hold it in just with one side, having that Technic port, but again, it is a knock. That is unfortunate. There was a lot of extra pieces though, I will say, that they included in this set, so that was at least nice. But getting into the interior, we'll give you guys a little bit better view, well, bird's eye view, and then we'll show you guys another way that you can access it. So right here they have a sticker piece along with a number of different items over this cabinet, and then they have a little counter right here along with a plant pot. And if you want to access the interior by another angle, just raise these pieces right here, and you can open up these doors. Show off the interior just a little bit better. Again, this is just so tiny. It's kind of adorable. It's sort of like a Polly Pocket Lego set. It's probably the best way to describe it. And then on the other side, I just wanted to show this off a little bit better. You have a nice little garden and a door right here which you can open and close. Let's now take a look at the second story. And what's kind of cute is they included a little ladder to get to the second story. We'll show how that kind of works. Just adds a little bit of practicality. And before we get into the interior, I just wanted to mention that the sticker quality is not quite as good as LEGO's. This little part of the sticker was apart from the larger sticker right from the get-go. Not the end of the world, but their sticker quality is definitely a little lacking. And then there's also another sticker right here. This is applied over 3 pieces. Again, another illegal sticker placement, but the sticker does look quite nice, and just lowering that, you guys get a little bit better view of the what looks to be windows. And getting into the interior, this is where that little ladder kind of comes into play. So you kind of slot it right here. There's even a clip to hold it. And you can get to the second story. Now it's kind of hard to make out, but there is a little area for 2 minifigures to kind of sit, along with a little table there, another little shelving area, and what looks to be a bed on the very top. In fact, let's just show you guys how that kind of works. So if the minifigure wants to take a snooze, you can somewhat do that. I will say that this second area is not nearly as accessible as the first story. Could be a little bit better. It would be nice if you could remove one of these walls easily and you could gain access to the interior, but it's not too big of a deal. Let's now take a look at the top of the building, which is by far one of the most detailed areas of the entire set. These took forever to make. I mean, each one of these large pieces is made up of basically 100 pieces, which is kind of crazy. And then moving to the other side, I just wanted to show you guys what it kind of looks like in the interior of it. basically just completely plain. They could have maybe fit something in there. So the attic could have had a little bit more functionality, but not a big deal. Let's now take a look at the minifigures. And here we have the 3 minifigures that are included. So judging from their clothes, I'd say that they're late 1800s, somewhere in China. Could definitely be wrong about that, but let me know in the comments what you guys think the era of this clothing is. Now, the men don't have any leg printing, but the woman does have dress printing, which is quite nice. None of them have any back face printing or back torso printing, but we'll give you guys a 360 view of them regardless. We're using the house just because my minifigure stand display wouldn't quite work for these guys just because they are tiny. And when I say tiny, you may think that these minifigures are somewhere around the same size as a Lego man. But here's a Lego man just as a size comparison. He looks like a giant. So they're quite a bit smaller than the average minifigure. The other thing that's interesting about them is their legs are made up of 2 pieces. So what that allows them to do is bend. So you can make it look like they're walking, which is quite interesting. It's not the most useful thing, but it definitely adds just a little bit more detail. And I love the fact that these minifigures are their own design. They're not copying Lego. They're quite different, as you guys can see. They're also quite a bit smaller. Let's now get into the end of the review and get my final thoughts. Well guys, that was my review. Do hope you enjoyed it. Now we've come to the big question whether this set makes it or breaks it. Well, first off, I wanted to mention that the pieces were very clean. There was a couple pieces I found a little bit of dirt on them, but for the most part, very clean pieces. They did not have a greasy feel like Lepin or Bella. They went together relatively easy as far as the clutch power is concerned, unlike Lepin or Bella again. So this is not a fake brand, or a copy of Lego, I should say. They are their own thing. I'd say that their quality is roughly on par with Mega Bloks, which is very good. It's not quite Lego, but again, it's the next best thing. That's kind of where I slot this set. And the build was relatively enjoyable. I will say though, those instructions, holy crap. They really need to figure out a better way to do it because it's basically a big road map. And I'm just not a fan of that. Like if you guys had the old maps, or if you go and buy it on a map, how it folds out, that is not a good way to go about building a Lego set, or any building block toy, I should say. So the instructions is definitely the worst part of the set, but as far as the cleanliness goes, the clutch power, the design, it being their own, the fact that it's even miniature bricks, these are not even normal bricks, their minifigures are their own design. They're not a copy off Lego, which I appreciate. I like them coming up with their own stuff. And I think that the price is pretty fair for 1,700 pieces. So in my opinion, this gets the thumbs up. This is not gonna get destroyed. I think it was a pretty decent product. Again, not Lego quality, but just like Mega Bloks, it's the next best thing. But let me know what your personal thoughts are on this model, if you like it, if you don't, any areas you think they could maybe improve on it. I'm always interested to hear your guys' take, but that pretty well does the review. But if you liked it, leave it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, definitely consider subscribing and click that bell so you're notified for any future Make It or Break It's. We do probably one of them every 2 months, and it's very interesting to take a look at these other brick built toys and see how they stack up to Lego. But that pretty well does the review again, guys. But thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.